Hello YouTube, welcome back to my channel. It's Divine Destiny, and today we're going to be talking about, is everything predestined or do we have free will? And the answer is no, nothing is predestined. I don't think anything is predestined. I don't think anything is predestined because I'm finding out more. I just found out more recently that even Adam and Eve, like Adam had a choice to choose Eve, and Eve had a choice to choose Adam. They both had choices because God gave them the gift of free will, so they could choose for themselves. And even when it comes to but you also have to understand, God knew that Adam was going to choose Eve. Like, God knew he was going to choose her. But it wasn't like God forced him to choose her. He just knew that he was going to choose her. So, and it's the same thing, even when God has someone prepared for you, like even when God knows who you're going to pick, like he knows who your spouse is going to be, and he even prepared that person to be with you. It's still a choice for you to choose that person. You don't have to choose that person, but at the same time, like, he knows that you're going to choose that person. And because he knew that you were going to choose that person, he prepared this person for you, and he prepared you for this person. So it's basically like you're preparing yourself for the role of marriage, or you know what I'm saying? And he prepares you for it, but it's not like you're forced to do it. Like, God is not, he even gives you a choice to be with him or to be separated from him. It's completely free will. Like, you have the will to choose whether you want to be with God or separated from him. So that's why it's like nothing is predestined. And nothing is predestined. I also have to think, like, but when it comes to God, I don't know if that is predestined, because I think he was always going to, you know, John 3:16, God so loved the world, he gave his only begotten son, to whosoever believed in him shall not perish but have everlasting life. I think he was always going to do that. I think he was always going to make the sacrifice, because, I mean, Abraham made that sacrifice, but I think God was always going to, I don't know. I think he was always going to do that. Ever since Abraham did that. But, I don't know. And so, like, it makes me think, because, and you have to understand, I don't know everything. I don't know everything. But I do find out information from the Holy Spirit, and sometimes, and most of the time, he will relay the message through other means. So, the Holy Spirit will give you, will tell you information through other means, through people, through his prophets, through, but I think, and this is just what I think, okay? I don't think anything is predestined. I think because Abraham did what he did, like, because Abraham was willing to sacrifice his son, Isaac, God was willing to do that for us in the same way because of that, because of his free will, because Abraham had a choice not whether to worship God or whether not to, but he chose to. He chose to. Because he chose to, and he has free will, because he chose to, I think, so then I guess it's not predestined. But he knew it was going to happen either way. Like, he already knew what was going to happen. Like, God could see the end result of every decision that we make. So That's why he will warn us before destruction comes. That's why he will warn us before all of the terrible things that happen to us. He always tries to warn us. Even before blessings come. He's bringing the blessings. He'll warn you beforehand. But a lot of people don't. There's a lot of people who will hear that what God said, and will hear that God is trying to warn them, and they won't take heed to it, and they will just do whatever they want. So, but God knows what you are going to do before you do it, and he knows what the end result will be, always. So I guess it was predestined because he knew what the end result was going to be. Like, he knew Abraham was going to do that. He knew what the end result was going to be. So sometimes I feel like, but I don't know, because you can't really put God in a box like that, because he's so much greater than us, you know? So you can't really put him in a box and say, like, this is what he would do and what he wouldn't do. I mean, you can read the Bible and understand his personality, but there's so much that we don't know. I don't know everything. I could read the Bible about 1,000,000 times and I still won't know everything. And there are some things I won't even comprehend about the spiritual, you know? And our brains compared to God's brains, we're basically like infants, like we're babies. Compared to, and that's the adults. Think about that. The adults, your highest scholar is basically like like his mind is basically an infant compared to God's. It's insane. I know. But yeah, back to what I was saying though. I don't think anything is predestined. I think God knows. I know. I'm not even going to say I think. I know that God knows everything. He knows the end result of every decision that we make. He knows every hair on our head. So because he knows everything, he knows what the end result will be. So he knows how to prevent a horrible thing from happening. Like, if you don't make this decision, this can prevent this horrible thing from happening. But if you do make this decision that I know that you're thinking about making, it will lead to your destruction. If you do make that decision, it'll lead to your destruction. Or, I just lost my train of thought. He knows the end result of the good things that you will do. And he will warn you of how great the blessing will be. He'll tell you how great the blessing will be because of your sacrifice and your dedication to the Lord. So it works both ways, but as far as things being predestined, I don't think it is. I think it's all free will. It's all free will. We all have the decision to make we all have a decision to make. But I think that, I'm sorry, my eyelashes. But I think that we all have a decision to make, but God warns us before destruction and he warns us before the blessing. And it really all just comes down to if you're going to take heed to what he's saying, because he knows what's going to happen, you know? So yeah, this is going to be a short video. It's like 10 minutes long, I guess. 10 minutes, like here, give or take 10 minutes. But it might even be shorter because of edits. But yeah, it's free will. Free will. It's not predestined. We all have a choice. Adam and Eve had a choice, you know. Abraham had a choice. Things like that. There are things that will happen without your say. You know what I'm saying? People will do terrible things. Like when Joseph went into captivity, that happened without his say. But at the same time, he had a choice he knew that God would want him to help his brothers, even despite them doing those terrible things to him. But despite them throwing him in a well and then also selling him into slavery. They knew that he knew that what they did was terrible, but at the same time, he knew what God would want from him. God had blessed him in such an amazing way that he knew what God would want. So rather than doing what he personally would want, he did what the Lord would want. And he forgave his brothers, and he helped them, even despite them selling him into slavery and throwing him in a well. So, yeah, it was a choice at that point. It was a choice on whether he was going to share his blessings and share the food with them, or keep it for himself and be selfish. But he decided to choose the Lord. So, and whenever you choose the Lord, it's always a good thing. It is always a good thing to choose the Lord. And rather than choosing what you would want, you should always choose what the Lord would want. We all have the power of free will. We all have that power of free will. But when you choose what the Lord would want over your flesh, it's so much better. Your life will be so much better. The Lord has done so many great things for us, and to sacrifice our flesh to be obedient to God and to strengthen our spirit, nothing but blessings, nothing but great things when you do that. And also you also have to think, when you don't listen to God, it's disobedience, which disobedience to God is a sin. It is 100% a sin. It's a sin. So, yeah. I mean, you have a choice to sin and to, listen to God. You have a choice. That's why it's free will, but it's not predestined. You have a choice. Everybody has a choice. So, but what you choose to do with that is completely up to you. So, yeah. That's the end of my video. Please like, comment, share, subscribe to my channel. Let me know what you think down in the comment sections down below. What do you think? Do you think it's predestined? Do you think it's free will? Let me know what you guys think down below. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.